So, you have a working system in place, a client has reached out to you for a project, and you accept. You get up early to start work, and that's when it hits you. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is very real and it affects us all. Yes, including me. For the past 2 weeks, I've been letting my imposter syndrome just take over. It fed my self doubt. My bad mood led me to not staying on top of my chores, so dishes and laundry just kept piling up. The visual clutter everywhere just made my bad mood worse. I let myself be distracted and by literally anything that was around that was not the thing that I needed to work on. My diet and exercise went out the window, and instead of sticking to a routine or making my own meals, I made excuses to get takeout. I camped out on the couch, and then that made my muscles tighten up, so you could see how really it could spiral very, very quickly. When I traced it all back to the origin, I realized that it was all because I was avoiding working on this class because I doubted whether or not I could make a difference. The key is to recognize those signs of self-doubt and have tools to fight back. Challenge every line of negative inner dialogue with something more positive. You're not falling behind. You're not good enough. And you're not too old or too young to do something. You're trying your best. You're learning. You're improving. And age has nothing to do with it. It's in your mind. One bite at a time. Taking your own advice isn't always easy, and that brings me to my next point. You're going to need to find your support group. This could be a family member, a friend, a colleague, an in-person or an online group. Really anyone who's going to make you feel more comfortable expressing your frustration and worry, and who can remind you that you're doing just fine and to tell your imposter syndrome to take a hike. In the meantime, I've included a bonus video of me telling you all of those things until you can find your own tribe. How do you find your people? If you're an introvert like me, you may not like this next part, and I think you've already guessed it, networking. Networking is so much more than elevator pitches and chasing down job leads. Your network can be a wealth of knowledge for running your freelance business. They can help point you to the right contractors if you need to outsource, help you build your referral list if you get projects that are outside of your scope or you just don't have time for, and most importantly, connect you with other freelancers who know exactly what you're going through. Now, your mom can tell you you're amazing and to keep up the good work, but hearing that same comment from someone who actually stood in your shoes and understands exactly how you feel, much more effective. There are a lot of ways to start networking thanks to the internet. It's not just in-person meetups, clubs, or conventions anymore. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, many groups have moved into the digital space to host events, Zoom calls, live streams, etc. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, Discord, Slack, Clubhouse. Where do you start? Personally, I stay active on LinkedIn. I belong to a few networking groups on Facebook and Discord. I have 2 active Instagram accounts, and I try to participate in 2 to 4 weekly Clubhouse or YouTube live chats. But if that seems like a lot, don't freak out. We are still currently experiencing a pandemic, so my social life is practically non-existent, and I also don't have kids or family responsibilities that I need to put time aside for. My participation also changes when I have more complex animation projects on my plate, which I don't have right now because I did take off time to build this class. Your networking efforts are going to depend on your schedule and your bandwidth as well. So I suggest at least getting a profile up on LinkedIn, joining either a Facebook, Discord, or Slack group where you can ask questions and get feedback, and adding 1 weekly Clubhouse or YouTube live chat that relates to your industry to your schedule. I think that's going to be more than enough to hit the ground running, start connecting with others, and get your name out there. You are doing all the right things. Don't beat yourself up because you can't do all of the things. No one can. Failure is a myth. You are always moving forward, and obstacles can be opportunities if you choose to see them that way. Stick to your plan. Are you scheduling time to work on your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Are you getting enough sleep? Enough exercise? Are you eating well? If not, start there and see how you feel. We're all on different paths. We have different backgrounds. We have different sets of responsibilities, and we have different priorities and goals. It's not fair to compare yourself to anyone but who you were yesterday. Look how far you have come. Why are you doubting yourself now? Shake it off. You're not going to lose your progress just because you tried something new and it didn't work out. You're just going to come right back here to where you started. So why not try it? You can do this. Take a breath. Let the fear go. and begin. Good luck.